the Bengals yesterday, but the story with Cleveland continues to be controversy off the field. According to Fox Sports' Jay Glazer, Odell Beckham, who had only 2 catches for 39 yards in the win on Sunday, told players and coaches he wants out of Cleveland after the season. Beckham left Sunday's game early with a groin injury that has been bothering him throughout the year. Baker Mayfield, your thoughts on Odell's injury?
I'd say that, it wasn't handled right. He's not able to run as well as he should be able to, as well as he knows, and that's frustrating for him. You can sense that's some of his frustration where that comes from. So it wasn't handled the right way in our training room. So it is what it is, and so his not 100% is still good enough for us.
All right. Baker then clarified his comments on Twitter. My intentions were not to throw our medical staff under the bus. No, I don't know all the facts about Odell's injury. It was emotionally answered because I can sense his frustration, and I care about my team and putting us in the best position to win. Stephen A., this is a team that some people thought would be going to the Super Bowl, but instead they're in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. What is the bigger problem? Is it Baker, his mouth, or OBJ?
It's OBJ, meaning Baker with OBJ. And let me explain. And first of all, Molly, for the future, I would appreciate you if you remembered, because you remember a lot of things other people say. I was the one that said Cleveland ain't make the playoffs. Everybody was going.
I thought that was me.
No. Oh no, really? Oh. Right. This dude had him as Super Bowl contenders.
You're right.
I like they ain't making the playoffs.
Let me do this again.
Let's not keep score. Let's stick together.
To go to the Super Bowl.
I got it. Let's stick together. You're right. Let's stick together.
Cleveland made a lot of people look like fools. Let's not start pointing fingers.
Here's the deal. That's fair. That's fair enough. Here's the deal. Odell Beckham Jr. is a problem for Baker Mayfield because Odell Beckham Jr. is illuminating the deficiencies of Baker Mayfield. The fact of the matter is you have a talent like Odell Beckham Jr. Why does this man have the numbers that he has? It is that simple. Odell Beckham Jr. has, what is it? I mean, what are we talking about here?
He had 2 catches for 39 yards.
Really? You talking about Odell Beckham Jr. here. You're talking about, and don't get me wrong, we understand
that. He has 2 touchdowns on the year.
He has 2 touchdowns on the year, and one of them was the second week of the season, so he's only had 1 touchdown pass in 11 weeks.
And the other one was against Cincinnati.
There we go. All right, and the other one was against Cincinnati. So understand something here. We're talking about one of the great talents in the National Football League at the wideout spot that can't get the ball. Now, obviously, that's about Kitchens more so than anything else. You're not targeting him in the red zone. We get all of that. But Baker Mayfield, because he continuously makes headlines, because he has more commercials than wins, more commercials than damn near as many commercials as touchdown passes. I mean, Progressive alone's got like 7 or 8 commercials with Baker Mayfield. I mean, about 7 to 8. Progressive. I mean, damn. Talk about it's only in America.
Insurance,
I mean, give me a break. When you complete less than 60% of your passes, got 15 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, you just listen. I like Baker Mayfield, believe it or not. I like him as a person. I believe in him as a talent. I think there's an upside there. I think he needs to watch his mouth, particularly when you throwing your medical staff under the bus, because that's exactly what the hell he did. He threw him right under the bus. But I'm going to tell you something right now. To have Odell and Jarvis Landry with Nick Chubb in that backfield, and then Kareem Hunt got added, and you can't do anything with Odell Beckham Jr. There is no greater indictment against Baker Mayfield than that.
Let me tell you what the problem for Baker Mayfield is. It's not his mouth or Odell's mouth or anything like that. It's not even Odell's injury. The problem for Baker, and I've been saying this since they got out of the gate slow, and I thought, okay, they still have time, the schedule gets soft, let's see what happens. But here's what could undo the whole thing. I believed Odell would be fine this year if he wasn't getting the ball, because he's surrounded by ballers. If Nick Chubb is getting fed, if Kareem Hunt in the second half of the season is getting fed, if Landry's getting fed, and Njoku, but he got hurt, is getting fed, then it's got to be spread around. He gets it. They'll be winning. This is the danger for Baker Mayfield. If Odell looks at you at a certain point and goes, you're just not a baller, that's the problem for Baker. Because Odell is a baller. Like that, he's made of like football talent. So if he looks at his quarterback and is like, you're not who I thought you were as a player, forget about as a teammate, as a person, any of that stuff. As a player, then you're going to lose him. And I think just observing this from a distance, we are very close to that moment if we haven't already got it.
Oh, no, you there. You're absolutely there. And I talked about this early in the season. He was targeted twice in another game early in the season. And I said, if you think Odell Beckham Jr. going to go through this season being targeted 2 times in a game, not being a prolific receiver, it ain't like we talking about a guy that hasn't proven that he can make a quarterback look better than what he really is, because he did it right here in New York. The problem with the Cleveland Browns is they invested in Baker Mayfield, and Baker Mayfield ain't built to handle the situation like it should be handled. Now, we can talk about his moxie, how tough he is, the chip on the shoulder. The comeback kid story always gets a lot of commercials, Stephen A. The comeback kid that came from an underdog to being this guy that's drafted first overall, everybody loves it. He did the Brett Favre picture before the draft, played it up, everything. And I've been telling people this from day one. Max, you know what they don't care about up there on that level he playing now? Your damn story. Don't nobody care about that. In college, you can get, like, your teammates, they young, they like, yeah, man, look, we got Baker Mayfield, he that dude, he was a walk-on, he made it all the way here. You walk in that NFL locker room, if you ain't balling, homie, we ain't following you. Well, and if you ain't hooping, Michael Jordan couldn't punch Steve Kerr in the face if he wasn't Michael Jordan.
Let me say this real quick about Odell, Stephen A. I'll give it to you. I don't agree with everyone that if Odell was used on offense, think of him like Deion Sanders on offense. If the game plan was, Odell, you're going to have a safety on, you're always going to be 2 guys on you. Therefore, we have your boy Jarvis Landry, we have Nick Chubb, we have Kareem Hunt, we have a healthy Njoku, let's say. And they were getting the ball and they were winning because of that. I think Odell, of course he wants the ball. I think he'd be good. The fact that it's not just like they're using him like that and winning, but they're losing and he's not getting the ball. Oh, no. No.
There's a couple of things that I think that y'all might be missing with all of this. First of all, let's remember, Odell Beckham Jr. didn't want to be in Cleveland. He didn't ask to go there. He wanted to go to L.A. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to be in Cleveland. He settled for Cleveland because that's where they traded him to. That's number one. Number two, you know who's sitting pretty right now, despite their anemic ways? The New York Giants.
The Giants.
Because they sat up there and said, y'all think they're going to win. But guess what? They're not. Number three.
What, the Giants are sitting pretty?
No, I'm talking about over the whole.
They had him and
I agree with you, but they don't. Again, they didn't care. They didn't care. They didn't care. We know
Daniel Jones,
we know they're stupid. We know they're stupid.
They don't look dumb.
They don't. In other words, he ain't someplace else shining winning the Super Bowl.
Right.
He's suffering just like they are.
Sure.
Okay. Number three, when you talk about Baker Mayfield, the story that you talked about, I'm totally down with you on that. But his commercials, his marketability would make more sense if this was that Heisman Trophy winner coming out of college who was the #1 overall pick in your rookie year. You did this for him after year 1 because he won a few games with Kitchens. The fact of the matter is that once that 1-year honeymoon is over, excuse me, there was a lot of stuff to see around the NFL with dudes that could have been marketed. You chose this guy.
You know what's going to
Now, all I'm saying is at some point in time, when I surround you with marquee talent, you got to give me something.
You know what's going to wind up happening? Mark my words. Bill Belichick's going to go scoop Odell for pennies on the dollar in the offseason.
Bro, yes.
He's going to scoop him for pennies on the dollar.
And he would be happy, and he would be ecstatic.
It's coming.
He would be ecstatic.
It's coming. He did it with Moss. He did it with Ocho Cinco.
Yep.
He did it with AB. What the hell make you think he won't do it with OBJ? And OBJ will go catch for 1,200.
And oh, by the way, OBJ is a good guy.
Yeah.
He's not a bad guy. He didn't do anything wrong with anybody.
By the way, when I said real quick, offensive Deion Sanders, remember, Deion wouldn't always have a ton of interceptions because they just wouldn't throw him the ball. If Odell was doing that and they were balling, it would be different because he wasn't getting the ball and everyone else is open. It's different.
Patrick Mahomes led the Chiefs to a big win in Foxborough despite injuring his hand. So are the Chiefs legit Super Bowl contenders? This is the first time since 2000 someone under 25 did that in Foxborough to the Patriots.
We got a big show tomorrow on First Take. Will the Eagles be one step closer to dethroning the Cowboys as NFC East champions? Plus, I've got a special Stevens A-list on the most annoying people in all of sports. That's right, I said it. First Take tomorrow at 10 a.m.
I'm finding it hard to stay on top of things.
A faster laptop could help. Plus, tech support to stay worry-free.
Worry-free. Boom.
Boom.
Get free next business day shipping or